A very good morning to you all. Hello students, this is Vishal Pandey and I welcome you all in my YouTube class. So as you can see on your screen, it has been written clauses. But let me draw your attention that today I am going to brief you first of all on clauses, and then I'm going to elaborate in detail about noun clause, adjective clause, as well as an adverb clause. So before going straight away to the different clauses, we will understand how and from where this word clause originates, what is the importance of clauses in English grammar, and how many kinds are there of clauses. Many things are there to be discussed in this video. So I hope that you all will watch this video as many times as you can. So without wasting any time, let's begin. Now if I discuss about this word clause, a question arises that what is a clause, or what are clauses. So basically keep this in your mind, the definition of clause, that a clause is a group of words having a subject and a verb of its own. Let me repeat the definition again. A clause is a group of words having a subject and a verb of its own. Keep this definition in your mind, it will help you during the explanation of noun clause, adjective clause, and adverb clause. So let us move forward. If we talk about the different types of clauses, you can see three types are there through which we can relate upon. First one is principal or main clause. Clauses can be divided in three sections. The first section is of principal clause or main clause. Second one is of coordinate clause, which can be considered as coordinative clauses as well. And the third one is subordinative clause. So keep these three clauses in your mind, which are there: principal clause, coordinate clause, and subordinate clause. Let us discuss what is principal clause in detailed way. Principal clause is the most important clause in a sentence. It is also called independent clause. Yes children, principal clause or main clause you can say is called independent clause. There are no foundation on it, it is independent. It does not depend on any clause for its meaning. It has its own meaning altogether. What I'm trying to say, it doesn't depend on anybody else. If you want to take an example, here is an example. You can see he went to Agra. He stands for the subject, went is the verb, and Agra is an object. So you can understand that if there is one subject, one verb, one object in a sentence, this sentence can be called principal clause or main clause, because it is independent altogether. He went to Agra, it is complete sentence. It is a complete sentence where it includes one subject, one verb, one object. Now you can ask a question that, sir, if one subject, one verb, one object will be considered as principal clause, then if any sentence which is having two subject, two verb, and two object, then what it will be called? Let us discuss in detail way. If there is a condition of two subject, two verb, two object, then it will be called coordinate clause. Let us see. First, we will understand the definition of coordinate clause. Coordinate clause is the clause which is equally independent like the principal clause. What do you understand by this equally independent? What this term reflect? Means, however, you can understand that principal clause is slightly different from coordinate clause, but they are equally independent. Who are equally independent? Coordinative clause are equally independent like principal clause. Children, this is principal clause. You can see here that this sentence is independent. And if you talk about coordinative clause, coordinate clause is also independent, but something difference will should we can see some differences. Let us see what is the difference between these two. It is joined by coordinate conjunction, coordinative conjunction it should be. It is joined by coordinative conjunctions. What are coordinative conjunctions? Some are written here, like if you talk about and, so, or, but, etc. These type of conjunctions are called coordinative conjunctions. Okay, so if a sentence is joined by and, so, or, but, and there are two subject, two verb and two object, that sentence will be called coordinate clause. That sentence will be called which clause? Coordinate clause. Let us see the example. Now I have added to the first example of principal clause. Further, let us see. He went to Agra. Yes, it first see, you can see here subject, verb and object. So this is a complete sentence, but you can see a coordinative conjunction is representing these two sentences, adding these two sentences, joining these two sentences. He went to Agra and he saw the Taj. Both sentences, this sentence and this sentence, is independent individually, but both sentences are connected with a coordinate conjunction, that is and. So these type of sentences will be called coordinate clause. These sentence will called coordinate clause. Second example, you can see he felt tired, so you can see this is coordinative conjunction. He felt tired, so he lay down to rest. He felt tired, yes, this is principal clause, and he laid down to rest, this is principal clause. What it means, children, if I talk about conclusion, if I talk about how you can understand, how you can correlate yourself with principal, how you can discriminate principal clause and coordinate clause, you can very easily discriminate like this. You can let me give you one trick. 1 and this is 2. So what you have to understand, two principal clause, this is principal clause number 1, principal clause number 2. Two principal clause connecting with a coordinative conjunction is called coordinate clause. Clear? Two principal clause connecting with a coordinate conjunction will be called coordinative clause. Now let's move forward and understand what is subordinative clause. A subordinate clause is dependent on the principal clause. Now subordinate clause is dependent, children, on which clause? Principal clause. From here dependency will take place. For example, I know. What do you know? We don't know, because if you say I know and if you hide this sentence, let me hide this. If you hide this sentence and you say I know, there will be a question mark, children, before you. What you know? It can be a matter of curiosity. So what you know, you have to write this word. I know that you are a good boy. So I know is a principal clause, but that you are a good boy, which is connecting with that, starting with that, you are a good boy, this sentence will go in subordinate clause. Subordinate clause means आप कह सकते हैं helping clause, you can say. Then next example based on this is the book which she gave me. This is the book is principal clause, which she gave me is subordinate clause. So this was the explanation of principal clause, coordinate clause and subordinate clause individually. We have to start noun clause, adjective clause and adverb clause. I'm saying I have explained these all clauses individually to you because I want you to understand that from where these clauses have came in existence. So subordinate clause, we will take forward subordinate clause from here. We will leave principal clause and coordinate clause here itself because subordinate clause is very important to understand. And we have to go through noun clause, we have to take adjective clause, and then we have to take adverb clause. So all these three clauses are related with only subordinate clause. So that is why subordinate clause is important. So subordinate clause also have three types of sentences: simple sentence, compound sentence and complex sentence. We will discuss in next video what is simple sentence, compound sentence and complex sentence in more detailed way, so that I can take you straight away on the topic, that is noun clause, adjective clause and an adverb clause. So to understand these three, I have taken these all explanation, because if you watch this video, watch these topic, and if you understand what is principal or main clause, if you understand what is coordinate clause as well as subordinate clause, then only you will able to understand noun clause, adjective clause and adverb clause. So watch this video, try to understand, and wait for the next video to come. Take care, bye bye.